Some people play to relax. Some people play to connect with friends.
Walks in when he looks away, what a shot!
Some people play to escape reality. The rest of us?
Yeah. Oh my god, he's knifed him, and he's gotten away with the AWP. I'm starting to get nervous. There's no way, Caden, you can't win Pro League like this! You can't win Pro League like this!
I'm not going to be ready for it. Oh my goodness! And Dog wasn't ready for that. JL turns back, takes a second.
Oh, he crossed forward! JL!
To make this a fight, Adrian and Savage just need to time this well.
No.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
A shot here, a shot there, Teddy, what? And then he's gonna do it! Oh, that's gonna be it! And there you have it, Stana Division are your world champion! Survive! Baker coming back!
As the ulti comes through.
Another 3-6-9 finds death number 4, but the re-engage from Velvet is almost enough, but it is not! Baker in the mid lane, the unkillable Demon King rebuilds his throne with the skulls of his enemies!
Esports has been an ever-growing side of media, raking in over $1.2 billion in 2023. Competitive gaming has become the forefront of the gaming industry. Players push their reflexes, strategic decision-making and teamwork to the limit, competing with and against each other to see who will break first.
Sit the fuck down, pussy! You suck dick! My fucking P1, pussy!
8 hours a day, 7 days a week. They train all year round with no off-season, perfecting their craft, learning the intricacies of mechanics and coordinating with teammates.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that situation, man.
You can't let them walk up and the underneath doesn't queue up!
The stress of contracts, expectation of fans and pressure from coaches pushes their mental to the max. In a shooter like Counter-Strike, hand-eye coordination to aim and move, predicting the opposition's strategies, and learning to communicate effectively is the bare minimum to becoming successful.
We're going to overtime! Talbot have done it! How have they done that? They came
On the other side, League of Legends. An online battle arena has players managing characters known as champions with differing abilities and roles, alongside managing resources to work towards the objective of destroying the enemy's base. League of Legends requires a completely different set of skills to Counter-Strike. Instead of reflexes, players need emotional control, discipline and adaptability. You don't get 10 minutes to decide your next move, you get milliseconds. The wrong mistake could be the difference between winning and losing.
Still 2 more players to find though. Rain, he's going to get another one. MPK goes down. He's created a 1-on-1. He's got so much time to use as well. He's going to make his way back towards the middle position. And he's going to try to trick his opponent right now. Apex though, oh my goodness. Gracious me, Rain is an absolute monster.
Only 23% of people know what esports is, and within that, a measly 20% think esports is a real sport. So let's go and see if it really is just a game. I met a player called Fish. At just age 14, he was playing professional Brawl Stars on his phone, competing for prize pools of up to $1 million. 6 years later, he was winning competitions such as the Vision Gaming LAN Invitational and competing at a national level in a game developed by the game studio EA, Apex Legends.
Currently, I'm on a break from Apex Legends in terms of like esports. But for a rough backstory, I started out playing a mobile game called Brawl Stars when I was 13. Through getting quite good at it, I actually managed to get noticed by a few people on the English leaderboards, like the UK leaderboards. and then I got like experience playing in Tier 1, so that's just the level below Pro League. And me and my teammates at the time, we managed to make like a really successful club, as it was called back then. And it's still like one of the best in the UK, like to this day. When I was like 16, during around COVID times, a game called Destiny had been in circulation for a while. I started playing a lot more Destiny, and like more specifically like PvP or player versus player. And then after a couple of years of getting pretty good at that, I started doing these things called scrimmages, which is like where competitive people play against competitive people, but it's a bit more intense. But Destiny as in of itself didn't really have like a dedicated esports scene, so a lot of it was just like leaderboards and stuff like that. I managed to get around like top 500 players in terms of like global kills. And then after that, one of my good friends who brought me into the Apex Legends scene. So yeah, about a month later, after like messing around and seeing if I wanted to do Apex Legends, I made the jump, and 2 years later, we were winning like cash events and stuff like that. So got a few earnings in terms of that, and being part of like an esports team that like was quite good on terms of like a national level. Like we were quite recognised.
His friend Raid also competes at a national level in a rhythm game called Osu. The aim is to click circles to the rhythm and the beat of the song playing. By doing this, you score points. Seems simple enough, right? Well, what starts out as this turns into this.
I'm Raid, or Robin, the top 500 OSU players, and I got involved with esports very early on, playing Fortnite in around 2018, 2019. I was mainly trying to go for World Cup at the time because that was very interesting to me and I really wanted to play that. And I eventually did actually play it, but it didn't go very well for me. And then I moved on to less esport scene games like Destiny 2. But now I'm playing Osu since late 2022, which does have a decently sized esports scene, but it's not very funded because the game's quite small. But there are big tournaments that do make money if you win.
While they both love what they do, not all is as it seems.
Being as I was in uni at the time as well, we all were, usually we'd be waking up around like 7 a.m. for university, get home about 1 or 2 p.m, and then we'd be playing from like 3 o'clock till like 12 p.m, with like an hour break for like food and stuff like that. But on an average day, we'd usually be playing for like 6 to 8, even pushing it towards like 11 hours. And the rest of the time would be spent like training or having meetings with the team.
On average, I try to put in at least 2 to 3 hours a day.
And that's quite sort of focused time as well.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm playing for 2 hours, not just getting on, chill, having fun for 2 hours. I actually like grind the game.
So, would you say it gets quite mentally challenging, and why, if it does?
I think esports is one of the most mentally challenging things that someone can voluntarily do. But it does come down to a few things. So like the hours, like you need to put in a ridiculous amount of hours. Fatigue, just mental fatigue. It just builds, and then eventually you start to like regress. So we see a lot of players, having burnout, mental breakdowns in some cases. As you get higher in terms of like reputation, ranking, stuff like that, you're playing better people. So, the game becomes faster, and you also need to train more. And the pressure just builds and builds, and that's ultimately the hardest part of esports, is the fact that it's a marathon, but the entire marathon you have to be sprinting.
Fish at the age of 22 has taken a break from gaming entirely. He goes on to explain what the side effects of playing under so much pressure can do to a player.
Well, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue in April 2026, and to put it simply, it's like it's just it's chronic burnout. So your brain just shuts your body down. Like when I developed it, first I was like stuck in bed all day and all night. I was sleeping 16 hours a day, and getting up to sit in my chair was like tiring. And it's not like you can, just watch TV or Netflix because it becomes tiring. Eventually, you manage to get out of bed, but if you do try and do something or get up too quickly, you just basically go back to being bedridden. So it's a slow process called pacing where you basically have to learn to live again. After about 2 months, I was basically able to like take a walk outside. Like I'm back to like gaming a bit and like taking care of my university work, doing chores around the house and slowly getting back to the gym and running. So it's been a long process and it's taken a lot of patience, but I'm getting there.
Chronic fatigue is relatively new to the medical world. The NHS says that the main cause for chronic fatigue is currently unknown. However, the IHA Healthcare has said that according to the Archives of General Psychiatry, stress may cause chronic fatigue syndrome to develop. Fish's sister has also experienced a similar illness, chronic pain. She goes on to explain how she developed the symptoms.
In my first, probably couple of years of high school, obviously the workload was quite high. There was a lot of pressure. Not just academically, but sort of athletically as well. Like I really started getting into netball. I was sort of rushing from place to place, really. It was sort of just like get through this week, and eventually my body just paid for it. And it was sort of a mix of both mental struggle and physical, but it ultimately manifested mainly physically.
So would you say it's similar to burnout?
Yeah, it starts as burnout, but it's sort of basically more dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Despite the amount of issues Fish has had with chronic fatigue, for esports players this is only the tip of the iceberg. A study conducted at Brussels University, along with the esports team G2, found that over 80% of players struggle with anxiety, and a further 30% suffer the risk of burnout.
But it's not about the keep playing until I won a game. It's about then not being able to sleep for the 4 hours after. I couldn't sleep. I was just
no shit,
dude. Because
you're right back to
you're
all
so
the puns.
passionate. Oh my god!
Because people go, oh, do you miss playing professional Counter-Strike? It's like, well, I don't really miss like being in the prac room for like 8 hours a day and all that shit. But I miss the feeling of competing.
Competition,
So
yeah.
even like losing a pug, I'm like, fuck, man. Like I like, that's we all have that vibe.
A tragic story took place in June of 2023, where Valorant professional Carol Twiston Assenbrenner, an entry fragger for Team Vitality, took his own life. Before his death, he had explained his struggles with depression and self-harming behaviour. He was 19 years old. Fish wanted to express his interest in encouraging people to step forward if they are struggling with mental health issues and to seek help. If you are struggling, you can contact the numbers on screen now. The Esports World Cup is a major yearly event that brings esports together. Players hailing from different countries, teams and games come together to compete for their team in the World Cup. Each team enters multiple different game competitions competing for points. The team with the most points wins. $70 million, 175 million viewers, 2,000 players and over 200 teams. The Super Bowl in 2025 had 127 million viewers. Wimbledon had 70 million viewers in 2025. This just shows you how popular the gaming industry is becoming. Maybe the stats aren't convincing enough.
I think when competing, it's like a blend of thoughts and emotions. Like you really want to win, and you're hoping that like all your training you've done like comes into play, so you're not having to basically think about what you're gonna do because when you have to like think about your next moves, like you're already being slow. So, you know, you want to beat the other players. Like, they've been training as hard and as much as you do, so you want to like crush their emotions. But I'd say it's like really like motivating playing in tournaments, because you've earned that spot to be there. But it's just the ambition to win is like the biggest thing.
Still, then it's more motivational than I'm nervous. I'm actually more nervous towards people who are worse than me, because I know just one or two misses can change a game completely and ruin everything. Because the second someone gets momentum, that's worse than you. It's the same way if I was playing against a better player and they lose a pick. I'm like, oh, I can actually win this. Let me just lock in. And that has me shitting bricks. So I am actually more nervous towards lower ranked players than better.
Versus Aurora. DZ landing on Aurora at shipball. What the fuck is going on? DZ goes to Aurora? They bring the contest?
I'm scanning, wait for scan.
I look over.
Nice, good scan. Give me heal.
I took his hours one.
Pack you, nice. Bubble down. They're in the
He's got one. He kills one. Here, he knocked out.
He doesn't have a gun. Have to reload. Where is he? He might have a gun now. He doesn't have a gun still, Jeff. On me.
Aurora eliminated. DZ stands up. A little bit of a pop off there. And Aurora is eliminated by DZ.
The money, the pressure, and the unending grind to the top. What is it actually like to be an esports player? Why did they chase the top spot even if it means killing off your mind?
In all honesty, with me, it's purpose and belonging, you know. It became so routine that like when I'm not training, I feel a bit like empty. Like, I love the community as well. I think as well, like the competitive side of me loves playing. Just being able to make someone give up or like show them I'm better, that's probably quite egotistical, but you know, I do enjoy it.
Just the pain and the pleasure of where you can only blame yourself. I really have never liked competitive games where you have teammates, because it's out of my control. I hate stuff being out of my control. But for example, in OSU, if I play like shit, hey, it's only me who I can blame. I can't blame anyone else. Yeah, I'm playing a team tournament. I can blame someone else for playing bad, but I could have just played better.
When you were younger, did you know you wanted to play games competitively, or?
Like, I always enjoyed playing games. Like, my dad had a Nintendo Wii when I was like 2, so I used to be glued to that, and I just grew up playing games. Like, I knew I enjoyed gaming a bit more than most kids, but I didn't think it would lead me to like where I am today. I think it was just like my competitive nature that did it. Like, not wanting to give up, wanting to like beat the next person above me. Eventually I realised how much work it took to compete, and it kind of shocked me at first, but now I'm doing it, it's super
fun. Just as a final question, what would you say to people who think esports is a waste of time?
I'd say esports should be treated as normal sports, honestly. They take us the same amount of effort, and as select few only get as far as playing professional, like tier 1 professionals. There is so few who play tier 1 professional like League of Legends and Valorant. It's pretty crazy, and they don't really get treated with any respect because they're just playing a video game. They say it's just a video game, but it's really not. It's called an esport for a reason.
I would say that they don't know what they're talking about. If people try gaming, then eventually they learn how difficult it can be to like learn to use a controller or a mouse and keyboard. Like, loads of people who I talk to when I'm on the game say like, chill out, it's just a game or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but also no. Like, I get what they're trying to tell me, but like, you're saying that you know you're supposed to have fun and not take it too seriously, but that's it's just more than a game.
There's always debates over whether things are sports or whether they're games, or what they actually are. But I think it's just perspective. I think generationally as well, that can affect what you think of it. But I'd say the younger generations sort of respect it more, mainly because they've grown up with the technology.
I got him.
They're gonna drop. Probably not.
Look at them. I have no heals, no heals.
We're good.
I'm going to
Joe
loot.
backside. I'm chilling on the wall.
I'm on the jumping on you. No, I got jumped on hills.
I'm grabbing. I'm fine.
Just chill.
Chill, Josh, chill.
Shoot that guy.
Do that guy.
He died.
They're doing. Look
Get
at
it.
him.
Nice. He's right. I'm getting
Hold
out.
on. Chill. Last guy.
Chill.
Dead.
Where's going?
Joe on this backside. Kill. I'm taking the cube. I won.
Get one.
I'm dead.
Cause I ride for my click, I get live with my click, go get high with my click, do or die for my click. Said it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know, yeah, it's all that I know. And you can't never tell me nothing, I ride for my click, I get live with
Researching for this documentary, interviewing the players, and delving into the scene has really shown me it's not just about the gaming. It's about a never-ending ambition to be the best, putting your whole life on the line, chasing a dream and fighting the naysayers. They put themselves through the amount of stress a Formula 1 driver experiences, trained to have the hand-eye coordination of a surgeon and the decision-making of a pilot. It does just make you wonder, was it ever just a game?
little, but we do it big like I was a dipper. And these homies never crush them, guarantee they never bustin'. Dog, your flow be super weak, now go to sleep like Robitussin. I ain't tryna be that homie who could never make it happen. If you down, let's get it crackin', make that paper, keep it stacking like I love the way it feel. When she break it down for real, what's the deal? Flow is worth a meal, trick I'm about to kill, keep it trill. That's the way I roll, that's the way I go.